Hello, beautiful. How are you doing today? Well, I'm doing like this. So, today I want to talk about a couple things. One, about how to handle things in life that don't go our way, which is a lot of the time. And then I want to talk a little bit about the kind of the paradox of what this does to a highly sensitive person or neurodivergent or however you want to qualify yourself as somebody who is just not of the absolute norm and always feel like your brain is a little bit of a misfit in how this society wants people to use their brain or how it is apparently meant to function, but it is only because this society said so. Because in the real world of how humans should behave, what we have here is really, really useful and powerful. So, first, I want to talk about what? About how sometimes it's difficult to trust the universe. I did a short yesterday, I think it was, just about this idea that sometimes when we're faced with big decision and we're confused and we don't have clarity and we're asking for guidance and we find ways through connecting to nature or breath or whatever it is that brings us closer to our inner peace so that we can connect to the divinity, we get messages, we get intuition that make us feel like, now I feel at peace. I feel like I understand and I see what my next step is, and all of that. And the thing is that even when those things happen, it doesn't mean that what we hear and what we interpret, what we hear, is going to bring us exactly in the direction with the result and the outcome that we think we're going to get. And it can be quite frustrating and disheartening. But the point I want to make about this is that learning to listen to guidance, to our intuition, to connecting to the divine or to our own divinity is a practice. And practice makes perfect, maybe never perfect, but practice develops the skill and deepens the relationship. So eventually the communication is clearer. It can also be that the ways of the divine sometimes uses language that we don't quite understand and we use our human brain to interpret it, and then we get things a little bit off. Or sometimes it's just that it uses our mind, suggests things that will bring us in a certain direction because it's something else that's down the road for us. Anyway, point I want to make is that it's a practice. And it's not because we think we're getting it wrong or we heard the intuition right or we allowed our ego to get in the way and all these things. I still think anytime that we connect, it is positive because it's a practice and we are developing a skill and we are deepening our relationship to that, to all that is, to all we are, and to that thing that is greater than we are. So, however, the ups and downs of the roller coaster ride that it feels like, it's always good. We don't give up, we keep going because the peace that we feel when we feel connected, that always feels like the truth. The other thing I want to talk about is yes, what we focus on is so important. And right now, I'm in a situation, some of you watch my other videos. I've been looking for a place for weeks or months to move to in Massachusetts, in the area where I am. Actually, I was open to going pretty much everywhere, anywhere. And I haven't found anything that I could afford or that I could see myself living in for a while. And 2 weeks ago, I got this intuition that I am close to family up in Quebec and I have not spent time with them in a long, long, long time, many, many, many years. And my mother's 90 years old. And the intuition that came to me when I was doing that connection was, hey, maybe life is telling you that now is not time to resettle here and just think of doing a little trip to go visit. Maybe you should go rent something up there for a few months and actually be there with your mom and with some of my siblings that are in the area. But mostly, I think it's mostly for my mother and what it will bring to me and what it'll bring to her, because we have a lot of love for each other. So I did that a couple of months, and now I'm facing not knowing what's going to happen after. I thought maybe I had secured something that was not my favorite thing, but I was going to say, I can do this. And I thought it was another lesson. And then that fell apart for September. And what I'm trying to bring, like I said, my brain is a little frazzled here. I'm really, really busy. I didn't think I was going to make a video today. Um, is that when we're faced with things that feel overwhelming to us and that confront us with um, things that are blocks in us, wounds, or things that we react to. For me, the moving, it's because my life has been so unstable for so many years. I think in the last 15 years, I've moved 15 times, so I'd never have time to settle anywhere and just focus on what I want to focus on. So the idea of doing this again, putting everything in storage, is very overwhelming. But this morning I woke up and I said, what do I choose to focus on? Because the overwhelm is a natural tendency for many of us. It's just the state of how we move in the world. It seems like it's our fuel almost when it's been so long that we function from survival, fight or flight, anxiety, or stress, or overwhelm. But there is still a choice, and sometimes we can feel it. And when we do, a lot of the times we can't, but when we do, we really have to grab onto it. And this morning I had this feeling, do I choose to focus on my fears of what's going to happen next? Oh no, I don't want to do this again. I'm so tired of this. This is too much work for being alone and moving everything. And all these stories that I tell myself, like, I can't take this anymore. Or I can choose to focus. I am going to go in this nice little town where my mom is, and I'm going to go get some love and give some love and go see what that does. And instead of focusing on what comes after, to just like focus on, I am going towards something that is good, that's going to be good for all the people involved. So this morning, I chose that, and I've been able to do a lot of very efficient work, and it feels really good. And the thing is, the falling apart, like I said, is the easy way for many of us. Not that the experience is nice or easy, but the groove of functioning from that place. And to heal ourselves or some of these deep patterns, there is often, we all work on healing ourselves. But I'm discovering these days with different things that sometimes, without going in depth into the whys and where does it come from and how do I heal it and all the modalities and all that, it's just to find what is the pattern interrupter. And sometimes the pattern interrupter is what we choose to focus on. Sometimes the pattern interrupter can be to commit to something that we're afraid of instead of giving in to our fears. And it's just trying to become curious in our mind as to what is the pattern interrupter here for me, instead of trying to see what is all the healing process. What if there's a way to move forward and heal things without focusing on the healing, but just finding pattern interrupters? That's an idea that I wanted to bring up. And finally, I wanted to talk about, what does this do? So as highly sensitive people, chaos can be overwhelming because it's overstimulating. We need things to kind of be a certain way that is familiar to us. And when we fall out of that, or our circumstances make us fall out of that, it can be very overwhelming. But the interesting thing also is that this is also where we shine. And here's the interesting part is that because we deal with so much stimulation, that we perceive so much and process so much information, and that our nervous system just processes things more deeply, and our thought processes are deeper, and we perceive more, we, our brains, have also developed the ability to organize, because it has had to, in order to survive and in order to manage all that extra information and stimuli that we get. So this is at once overwhelming, but then when you get to the part where you put everything together and label and know where everything is, we have a gift for that. And the satisfaction that we get is as deep as all the emotions and things that we feel as sensitive people. So that's what I want. That's all I'm coming with today. Thanks for those of you who are commenting on my shorts and that are asking me how I'm doing and all that. It means a lot. I appreciate it. Right now, I'm going to end this. I don't know how simple when I post it. Maybe no thumbnail, no music. I don't know, because I have some things to do. But I still wanted to come and talk to you because I love you guys, and it's like you're part of my life, you know, part of my extended family. And I know many of you are thinking of me, and I love having that connection. And I didn't want to skip a week. So that's it. I'll talk to you soon. I'll try to continue doing some shorts during the week. Bye. Have a great week.